What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing good. I'm Anthony K. Thomas, and welcome to Wrestling with Rumors. Welcome, everyone. So, before we get into everything that is Wrestling with Rumors, and a few other things that I want to talk about, like I say on every episode, every rumor that I am about to read is exactly what it is, exactly what they are. They are rumors. We speculate as wildly as we want, but until they are proven as fact, they are proven true, or we see it actually happen on TV, they remain what they are, rumors. So with that, let's get into a new episode of Wrestling with Rumors. So according to Fightful Select, WWE responded to Goldberg's claims of having his retirement match cut off by saying it was not done intentionally or with malice intent. They simply ran out of time for the live broadcast. Now, I have brought something like this up before on a quick episode of Rumor of the Day. It's one of those things when you're on broadcast television, like NBC, and you're really confined it to the amount of time that you have, whether it's an hour or 2 hours, and then that's it. It is kind of disappointing how that goes, because when you're watching sports on NBC, like the NFL, and later on this year, in a couple months actually, like in October or so, when you're watching the NBA, the NFL and the NBA are given as much time as they need to show the entire broadcast of the game, especially if there's a Super Bowl or when there's an NBA final, and they're given as much time as they need for the game. And once the game is fully complete and they have the award ceremony and all that, then what comes on. I feel that there needs to be some more respect with broadcast television when it comes to professional wrestling, and that professional wrestling is a sport, and that it should be treated like it's like the NBA, like the NFL, when it comes, or like Major League Baseball or like hockey, that they should be given as much time as those sports should when it comes to professional wrestling. Yes, there is a estimate that it will be anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, but it should be allowed to be shown without interruption, minus the commercials, but without interruption from the network itself. Allow it to show fully, and once it's done, it's done. And something like this that happened at Saturday night's main event is not on WWE. This is on NBC, and NBC needs to have a little bit more respect and treat professional wrestling, in this case WWE, like the sport that it truly is, and give it. And if the WWE says that we should be done in 2 hours, still leave like they do with sports, the NBC should leave some lee room to allow it to fully show everything. Because what comes on after Saturday night's main event is NBC Bay Area News. It's not another television show or anything like that. It's NBC Bay Area News. And the news, which is live, can hold out and wait until Saturday night's main event is done, like NBC would do if it was the NFL, if it was the NBA, if it was the NHL, or even golf. So that's where I'll leave it with that. TC at WrestleVotes claims that Roman Reigns is going by OTC1 was his own idea. Okay. I don't need to say anything about that. Just a simple okay. If they are claiming that OTC1 was Roman Reigns' idea, okay. Sounds like a part of a license plate, but okay. Per the Observer, Adam Cole and Tony Khan were both really shaken up by Cole needing to miss All In. Wrestling Observer Live went so far as to say Cole was prepared to retire at the show, at All In. During that speech, I honestly believe that, and that could have happened right there, because he did bring up the fact that he didn't want to bring up retiring because he is not emotionally ready for that. So I think we need to respect Adam Cole, give him his space, allow him to heal, allow him to feel what he needs to continue to feel, and go through the motions that he needs to go through to see if he can come back. And if Adam Cole can't come back and be a professional wrestler anymore, then I hope in some way AEW can keep Adam Cole in the company, whether as a coach or as a producer, in some way. Multiple sources have now told Wrestling Observer's Brian Alvarez that Seth Rollins' Saturday night's main event injury was a work. One source said that Rollins is hurt, but with a very minor knee injury he had heading into his match with LA Knight that isn't expected to keep him out for much time at all. I do that for the quotes that are in this. WWE's idea, per Alvarez, is to convince fans Rollins will be out for a long time so he can return early for a surprise cash-in. This has been one of those things where it's kind of split down the line between people saying that Seth Rollins' knee injury at Saturday night's main event is a work, and the other half believing that Seth Rollins is really hurt. I am going to choose to stay neutral on this and stay right in the middle of it, of it either being a work or it being an injury. He did say on Rich Epstein, I believe I'm saying that right, on his show, that he does have an appointment with the doctor in Los Angeles on Monday. So we should have a better idea of how much time he'll be away with a knee injury. So I'm staying neutral, and I want to see what Seth Rollins, what WWE reports as far as how long Seth Rollins could be gone from his knee injury. He is saying that he will be gone long enough where the international travel is not going to be something for him to focus on, which means he'll be able to stay home, be able to spend more time with his kid, with his family, with his daughter. So again, staying neutral and just kind of reading the tea leaves as they come in. But I think I'll just wait till Monday and go from there. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE's original plan for SummerSlam called for CM Punk versus Gunther to be main event of night one, with Seth Rollins cashing in the Money in the Bank contract on Punk to end the show. That cash-in appears to still be the plan. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes will then be the main event of night two, which is a street fight match. Again, on the Seth Rollins part, I'm staying neutral, and we got about a week, like a week from we got about a week from Saturday will be SummerSlam. Holy cow, we're really creeping up on it. Yeah, I'll stay neutral on the Seth Rollins thing, but CM Punk versus Gunther being main event for night one, that should be a good match. And I'm going to go ahead and give an early prediction for that and say CM Punk is going to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and I will explain more on that later in a little bit. Per the Observer, WWE also had the following matches listed on a proposed SummerSlam card from 3 weeks ago. Now remember, this was 3 weeks ago. Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker, Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed, Becky Lynch versus Bayley, Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss, Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa inside a steel cage, Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill, AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio, Naomi versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley, and a TLC match with the SmackDown with the SmackDown tag teams. And some changes have obviously been made since, but this is what WWE had listed as of 3 weeks ago, before the whole knee injury thing as well. So what we know is with Roman Reigns came back last week on Monday Night Raw, it feels more of a tag match that's going to happen with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That feels like a tag match. We had a 2 out of 3 falls match in which between Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, which Lyra Valkyria won, so that's Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental Women's Championship. We got that tag match still with Jelly Roll, Randy Orton versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, with them starting to build that up, especially what they did on Jimmy Kimmel Live, which was pretty cool. Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss is actually Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss as a tag team getting a shot at the women tag team championships against Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. We have Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa in a steel cage match that was made official this past Friday on SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill, that's still a go. AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio, I believe that will be made official on this coming episode of Monday Night Raw. Naomi versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley, yes, that's still a match that's going to happen. A TLC match. Yes, they haven't said anything about a TLC match, but a TLC match with the tag team titles, WWE tag team titles on the line. Hell yeah. I would love to see that match at SummerSlam. And moving on to the next one. F4W's online Dave Meltzer mentioned that the Young Bucks were pretty adamant about losing at AEW All In. Although the final decision was up to Tony Khan, it was ultimately decided that their story as AEW authority figures ran its course, and it was time to get them back to being a great tag team. I'm going to throw this to you guys and ask you a question. Do you feel like Tony Khan made the right decision and saying that the Young Bucks story as AEW authority figures ran its course? I'll leave that to you to think it over and then answer that question if you feel that the Young Bucks as authority figures ran its course in AEW. Meltzer also says WWE's goal right now is to elevate Jacob Fatu, Braun Breaker, and Rhea Ripley to the level that Reigns, Punk, Rhodes, and Rollins are currently at. Hell yes. And this has been Wrestling with Rumors as far as reading the rumors part of this show. Now, there's a few things I want to talk about real quick. Starting with Bayley versus Lyra in a 2 out of 3 fall match from this past episode of Raw. I wanted to talk about this real quick and just say that was a damn good match. That match, they were feeding off that energy from what was Evolution the prior weekend, and they just kept that ball rolling into Raw with that match. And damn, they tore it down. I mean, they had a triple threat. They were in a triple threat match for that women's Intercontinental Championship, and then to take that energy they had and put it into that 2 out of 3 falls match with the winner getting a shot against Becky Lynch at the women's Intercontinental Championship was a damn good match. I really wanted it to be Bayley. I would have loved to have seen Bayley versus Becky Lynch finish that match that they were having on Raw. But it was Lyra Valkyria. She won, and she goes on to get another opportunity, another shot at Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I feel that it's going to be a good night for Becky Lynch in that she will retain at SummerSlam for that Intercontinental Women's Championship. During the Gauntlet match, Braun Breaker put up Royal Rumble numbers, and Michael Cole said it first, but I absolutely agree. Braun Breaker was putting up some Royal Rumble numbers in that Gauntlet match. He was putting them down. At some point during that Gauntlet match, he did get a little bit of assist from Bronson Reed, but a win is a win, and Braun Breaker would have had that one, but CM Punk put Braun Breaker to sleep and is now going on to face Gunther at SummerSlam. I really feel like I said a little earlier, CM Punk is walking out of SummerSlam as the new World Heavyweight Champion. And I say that because as we're getting close to the fall, because summer is one of the shorter seasons, you know. So as we're getting to September, it'll come like that. As we get to September and we start talking about the draft, the WWE draft, and when it actually starts to happen, I really feel that Gunther time on Raw is done, and he's gonna go on to SmackDown, and that is where he'll focus on getting his hands on the WWE Undisputed Championship, which would lead to talks earlier about Gunther being John Cena's last opponent. I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel we get to SummerSlam, and it's going to be a good match between Gunther and CM Punk, but CM Punk is going to win the World Heavyweight Championship, and then we get to the WWE draft, and SmackDown will retain Gunther on SmackDown, and then Gunther will begin at some point while on SmackDown going after John Cena, and if it's a long build and we get to mid-December, that is probably where Gunther will be the one to take John Cena's championship as John Cena retires from the company. He would be John Cena's last match. I think that's how it'll go. I'll leave it like that's how I think it'll go. When we get from SummerSlam to mid-December, where there'll probably be Saturday night's main event, probably that will be John Cena's last match. In mid-December, we'll probably be at a Saturday night's main event, and it'll probably be for the WWE Undisputed Championship, and it'll probably be Gunther. And I'm saying that because I'm sitting here saying that I don't think, even in a street fight, Cody Rhodes is going to win the WWE Undisputed Championship, because I think Cody Rhodes is about to be drafted on Raw. Yes, I think there's your switch. Gunther loses World Heavyweight Championship, goes to SmackDown. Cody Rhodes loses in the street fight, goes to Raw. I think that's how it's going to happen, because that already happened for Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is basically on Monday Night Raw. That is where he came back. That is where he is. So it's only a matter of time before they do that switch with Gunther and Cody Rhodes. So we got to, speaking of Roman Reigns makes his return on Monday Night Raw after the match was over. during Chaos, while Jey Uso comes out to help CM Punk, and you got Braun Breaker, you got Bronson Reed, and they just tsunami and spearing and taking out both CM Punk and Jey Uso. Here comes Roman Reigns and lays them both out. You got a Superman punch, you got a spear. They're laid out. Paul Heyman is looking petrified. It's the first time he's seen Roman Reigns since WrestleMania 41, when Roman Reigns turned on both Punk and on Reigns. So Heyman is just petrified, and Reed and Breaker are caught off guard and don't know what to think, and it's crazy. Roman Reigns helps his cousin Jey Uso up, but doesn't help CM Punk. He's done with Punk. He doesn't want nothing to do with Punk, clearly. But Jey Uso, that's family. That's bloodline business right there, Helps his cousin up. And that's our tag match right there. That's our tag match. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, SummerSlam. That's our tag match. That's how it's going to go. I also see Jade Cargill winning the WWE Women's Championship at SummerSlam. In this case, I'm not saying that, Bo, because I'm not saying it because I think Tiffany Stratton is being drafted over to Raw. I think Tiffany Stratton is staying on SmackDown. I just think that Jade Cargill winning the WWE Women's Championship, I think it's time. And I feel that her winning the King of the Ring and then going on to getting that opportunity at SummerSlam, I feel like absolutely Jade Cargill. I also feel like it's going to be Jade Cargill because when you look at the triple threat match at SummerSlam for the Women's World Championship, I feel like Naomi is going to retain that championship. Whether she pins Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, it does not matter. Naomi, I believe, is walking out of SummerSlam still the World Heavyweight Champion, and which means she would then go on to face Stephanie Vaquer at Clash in Paris for the Women's World Championship, which I think she'll also retain there too, because I really feel like the whole Naomi and Jade Cargill thing, I think we're going to revisit it at least one more time at Crown Jewel, where they do those best of champion match, where they have the two champions going up against each other, and the winners of that match gets a ring and the Crown Jewel Championship, and they're doing that in Australia. At least I think they are, unless they only do that at Crown Jewel when it's in Saudi Arabia. But we'll see. But I'm just speculating here that that's what they're going to do again that they're going to do that again this year, but it would be in Perth in Australia. So I think I look at it at Crown Jewel one more time. We're going to revisit this Naomi and Jade Cargill, two world champions on their respective brands, going at it one more time. I feel like that's how it's gonna be. And if I'm throwing out a prediction for something that's not gonna happen until about like September, October, I think October, Naomi, because I feel that Jade Cargill got this win at Evolution, and that was a hell of a match. And I feel like this match right here, I feel like this match between Naomi and Jade Cargill, I feel like Naomi will get that win, and it will solidify her as the champion that we all know that she is, and that will more than likely be throughout the rest of the summer into the fall. But that's how I feel it will go. I know a lot can happen and a lot can change between now and October when we get into Crown Jewel, and we haven't even watched SummerSlam, so everything I'm just saying here is speculating, but I feel that's how it could go. And like I said before, when it comes to John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, I feel that John Cena, even in a street fight, John Cena will win because Cody Rhodes is going to get drafted to SmackDown. And as far as predictions for the WWE draft goes, I feel that the draft is going to be a very good night. A very good night from Monday Night Raw. It'll still be a good night for, I think it'll be a fair, not a decent night, but I feel like it'll be a good night for SmackDown. SmackDown will get some sweet picks from Raw and from NXT. I feel that SmackDown will mostly get NXT picks. But as far as Raw goes, I feel like Raw is really going to get the cream of the crop of talent on the roster. They're going to lose some of those cream of the crops to SmackDown, but I feel that it's all going to be worth it. And I feel like you look at some picks like Gunther going to SmackDown. You got Cody Rhodes, I feel, is going back to Raw. I feel that LA Knight absolutely needs to be on Raw, so I feel like that's where he's going to go. I feel that Tiffany Stratton, she would do very well on Raw, but I feel like her time on SmackDown is not done. I could be wrong. She could actually end up going to SmackDown, but I think she's staying on SmackDown a little bit longer. I feel that JC Jane, hear me out. I feel that JC Jane is in the middle of this summer as champion, and I feel that they're prepping her for a call-up, and it'll be to SmackDown. I feel the same thing for Fallon Henley. I feel that Fallon Henley will also get a call-up, and she will end up on SmackDown too. I really feel like this is going to be the year where they really add some new blood on brands for both Raw and SmackDown. And I feel that as we really get into the fall and into the winter, and as we look ahead at the Royal Rumble in January in Saudi Arabia, I feel that we're getting some much needed fresh coat of paint, to say, and some changes coming and some new competition. And I have high hopes, and I'm feeling very good about this WWE draft when it's announced and when it actually happens. But that will do it for this week's episode of Rumor of the Day. I appreciate you for sticking all the way to the end, for watching. If you haven't yet and you're watching Wrestling with Rumors, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can keep up when I drop new episodes of Wrestling with Rumors and a daily dose of Rumor of the Day. Hit that subscribe button, hit a like button if you like this week's episode, leave a comment, answer a question that I asked about how you feel about Tony Khan ending the Young Bucks time as authority figures in AEW. But y'all, have yourself a great week, and don't forget to take care of yourselves. I'll see you on the next one. Peace, y'all.